All right, Rabbi, we're ready to go.
Okay, fine. It's being recorded. I should say got it, I guess, right? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. Welcome our dear alumni, Derech, a proud Talmidim. I definitely miss you. We miss you here. Okay, a little something about Parshas Zachor, and we're getting ready. Here we go. An unbelievable Gemara in Shabbos, Kuf Yud Chesed and Beis. Very strange Gemara. Amar Yehuda Marav. Ilmole Shamru Yisrael Shabbos Rishona. If only Ilmole, if only Klal Yisrael were shomer the first Shabbos in the Midbar, Lo Shaltu Behen Umma V'Loshen. No nation would have ever come to us and take control of us. What do we mean? Let's see the whole Gemara. Shenemar v'hi b'yom hashvi yatsu min ha'am lilkot. On the seventh day, meaning Shabbos, of the nation went to gather. Meaning, if you look at the source, Shmos Tezdayin B'Shalach and parts of B'Shalach, the psukim say that Moshe Rabbeinu told Klal Yisrael, collect one loaf of mon, if you will, every day, 6 days a week, and on Shabbos, don't go out and collect anything. V'yomer Moshe ichlu hayom ki Shabbos hayom Hashem, eat it today, don't collect. Lo timtzu basodeh. Hayom lo timtzu basodeh. Today, if you go out and look, you're not going to find anything there. The Parshas explain why it had to be repeated, although Moshe told Klal Yisrael already to collect every day one, on Erev Shabbos, collect two. Okay, not for now. Sheishes yomim tilkatu. 6 days, collect them on. Uvayom hashvi Shabbos lo yebo. On the seventh day, there won't be any there because you collected two already. So don't go out and collect. Pasuk Chav Zayin says, "Vayhi b'yom hashvi yotzu min ha'am lilkot." People from Klal Yisrael went out to collect. V'lo matzu, they didn't find one. The Mefarshim explain. Rashi explained, not Rashi. Other Mefarshim explain that they took kalim with them, and either they transgressed Shabbos by carrying in rishus l'rishus, from rishus Yochid to rishus Rabbim, or some say they went yotze, they left the Tchum Shabbos. Whether there was a chiyuv for that or not, etc. That's another Gemara in Shabbos that the Mefarshim explained based on Pei Vav and Beis. Okay, but the Parshas of the Psukim is, and the Gemara is telling us that this was the Aveira. This was an Aveira of Shabbos, was a transgression of Shabbos. Eitan, scroll me down a little bit, please. So we see the Gemara again. Oh, not the other way, the other way. Okay. Oh, the other way. Help, Eitan, go back, please. Thank you. And it's okay. Anyway, we'll work it out. Everybody else will work it out. Anyway, that the Gemara said that if we only would have kept the Shabbos, and we didn't, because people went out to collect, by way of that they transgressed Shabbos, we never would have been taken over by any nation. Why? Because the pasuk later, not immediately after, the pasuk later says by Yovo Amalek, as in later in the Parsha B'Shalach at the end of the Parsha. Yes, there was the incident of the Mei Meriva complaining about water, and Moshe Rabbeinu hit the rock and water came out. Marsha asked that question, and it wasn't immediately afterwards, but at least it follows. It's the Gemara says by Yovo Amalek and Eitan. A little bit. Let me see this whole pasuk, please. Shmos Yud Zayin and Vayikra Shema Mako. That's it. Shema Mako Masa Meriva Al Ribede Israel, etc. And there's no Sosim and Hashem. They were testing Hashem. They were complaining to Hashem. Lemur Ayesh Hashem B'Kirbeinu Im Ayin. Whether there'll be Hashem is Hashem with us or not. By Yovo Amalek. Amalek comes. Vayochem Im Yisrael Yerfidim. Meaning, the Gemara is telling us that Vayovu Amalek came to Klal Yisrael on the heels, immediately following Klal Yisrael desecrating Shabbos, being Mechalel Shabbos. There's a group of people, Yotzu Min Ha'am, of the nation, went out to collect mon on Shabbos, of course, for nothing, because they didn't get anything, and they were over Shabbos. We see from the Gemara clearly there's a connection between Chilul Shabbos and Amalek coming to us. Somehow there's a connection. The fact that we were Mechalel Shabbos, the fact that we were did not keep that first Shabbos, it allowed for Amalek to come. If we would have kept that first Shabbos, excuse me, we would have kept that first Shabbos, Amalek would not have been able to take us over. What's the understanding? What is the connection? Excuse me. Yeah.
Rabbi, I'd get you a glass of water if I could.
Thank you very much, David. Okay, it's David, I see. Very nice. Okay, but let me see the cups over here. Fine. If yeah. So what's the explanation? How do we understand this? What is the connection between the Chilul Shabbos and a Molek? The Maharal explains the Gemara. If we go, Eitan, bring me to page 2, please. And that is, the Maharal says an unbelievable thing. The Maharal says a Yesod. On the Gemara, the Maharal says, Ki HaShabbos hu advekos, she dvekus, advikas, sheyesh liYisrael im HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's a particular dvekus that we have with the HaKadosh Baruch Hu due to Shabbos. Based on what? The Ksiv ki os hi beini uvenecha. Meaning, as the pasuk there says in Shmos Lamed Aleph Yud Zayin, as we say on Shabbos before Kiddush, v'shamu reis on Shabbos. Lasso to the Shabbos l'derosam v'ris oilam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael os hila oilam. There's a particular schus, a merit, a certain responsibility and right that we have to have this kesher with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, that we on Shabbos are declaring an os, that it's an os, it's a recognition. Ki sheish is yomim asah Hashem et hashamayim et haaretz v'yom hashvi Shabbos v'nafash. This is a schus for Yisrael, a dvekus that we have. Our keeping of Shabbos, we are making a statement. We are making a statement that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. Now, umas and musulakim in our Shabbos. The rest of the nations of the world, they're removed from Shabbos. They have no such thing. As the Gemara in Sanhedrin says, Goyamishamer to Shabbos, chayav misa. A goy who keeps Shabbos is chayav misa. He's not allowed to. He has no right to make this declaration. Ulefichach, im shamru Yisrael Shabbos rishon. If we in fact would have kept that for Shabbos, hayimakabelim habris v'achibur hazeh, we would have been accepting this covenant and this connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Sheyesh Yisrael mitzad Shabbos. Chibur atzmi, a particular, personal, actual connection that we have. He ein domer chibur v'dibuk shel Shabbos l'shar chibur v'dibuk sheyesh Yisrael mi'Hakadosh Baruch Hu mitzad shar mitzvahs. Meaning, the connection we have with the Hakadosh Baruch Hu due to keeping Shabbos is different, is greater than any other connection we have. Unbelievable. What would he be coming from? You see a little further down, Eitan, show us the Rambam, please. In footnote 3, there's the incredible Rambam, the last halacha of Hilchos Shabbos in the Rambam. The Rambam tells us, HaShabbos v'avodah zarah kol achas mishteyem shkula keneged shar kol mitzvot Torah. Shabbos and avodah zarah is equal, by keeping them, of course, to keeping all of the mitzvahs. VaShabbos ya'os, it's the sign shebin HaKadosh Baruch Hu beineinu la'olam, between the HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us forever. Lefichach, listen to this Rambam. Kol ha'over al shar ha'mitzvahs, anybody who transgresses other mitzvahs, areyu b'chlal rish'ei Yisrael, he's a Rasha. Aval mechal el Shabbos b'farhesya, someone who desecrates Shabbos publicly, areyu ke'ovid avodah zarah, u'shneim ke'goyim l'chol divreyim. Not like a Rasha, worse than a Rasha. Not a Yid Bichlal. Someone who's Bechal Shabbos is like a goy, an absolute goy, worse than a Rasha. What's the pshat? What's the pshat? A goy? What does it mean? Says the Maggid Mishnah next to the arrow, underlined next to the arrow. You can't miss it. It says the Tam HaShabbos. The reason why Shabbos levishu moire ala chiddush. It teaches regarding chiddush. The meaning that Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world, the newness of the world. The kofir b'chiddush, someone who denies the fact that Kadosh Baruch Hu put the world into existence anew. Kofir b'chol terakula. A yesod of entire kol terakula is that the Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world. Without that, there's nothing to start, nothing to talk about. But it's also coming from a particular schus. Lefichach tzarich lahaminu legvoa b'nafsho and munas hachiddush. Ulishmor the Shabbos you os neman Allah. What the yesod of keeping Shabbos, the yesod of Shmir Shabbos, when we are actively doing mitzvahs of Shabbos, being oneg Shabbos, mechabed Shabbos, and certainly when we are being nizar from any yisurim of Shabbos, We are making a statement. We should have this in mind. We're making a statement. We're being koveya. We're establishing ourselves. The Kodesh Baruch Hu created the world, and thereby, the Gemara, the Maral is explaining that someone who's Machal Shabbos is not, and sorry, if someone's Machal Shabbos is not connecting with that particular chibur, that connection that a yid has with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Our right, our zchus, our merit, to be able to make this, and the rest of the Ummah Olam wouldn't be able to do this. And thereby the Maral finishes off by saying, Ki HaShabbos hu mitzad habriya, meaning part of Hashem's creating the world was to create a people that will declare that he created the world. And thereby this ability that we have to be declaring that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world is a connection that we have that allows us to have this particular chibur that the Goyim don't have. Why would it then bring a Molech? Why did it bring a Molech? Because it goes much further. If keeping Shabbos, and it's something about Shabbos, goes much further, much deeper. If we go to the next page, there's an incredible Gemara, Mishnah I learned recently, and a concept I learned recently. A Mishnah in Demai, unbelievable Mishnah. It says, "Halokeach peiros minicha edo neman al maisris." You buy fruit in Eretz Yisrael from someone who is not believed. He's an Amaretz, and he's not believed regarding, not trusted regarding whether he took Trumas and Maisris. You bought from him, and you forgot the Shochach L'Asron. Okay, you're allowed to buy from him, but make sure you take your separations before Shabbos. You forgot. Okay, let's say you meet him on Shabbos, and you ask him, did you take Trumas and Maisris? And he says yes. Do we believe him or not? On Shabbos, we believe him. B'shoel b'Shabbos, yochal al piv. We eat the Maisris based on his word. During the week, we wouldn't believe him. We wouldn't be able to eat the Maisris. But on Shabbos, he has an ne'emanus. Says the Rabbi Bar Tanura. Arrow, underline. Why is that? It's based on Yerushalmi, actually. He says, the Amos Shabbos Olav. A Yid has a fear and awe of Shabbos naturally. Shemit Yarim Lavor Avera Ulashaker B'Shabbos Yosemi B'Chol. Unbelievable. We're dealing with an Amaretz. We're dealing with someone we don't even trust. Yet on Shabbos, we say that he has a ne'emanus, because a Yid on Shabbos has a neshama yisera that not only allows him to make this declaration, whether outwardly or even subconsciously, of Emunah B'Hashem and Chiddush, but he's even trusted. There's a certain MS that we live with on Shabbos, that we don't, a level that we don't even have during the week. The Rambam in Parshas Mishnayos, not underlined, sorry. It says, Amru b'Gemara she'atam b'inyan nema b'Shabbos v'she'ema Shabbos olav, she'ami ha'aretz chamor be'eineim la'sos aveir b'yom Shabbos b'yikavah Shabbos tigol yishakir. For an Am Ha'aretz also, Shabbos, he has the ne'emanus. The Rambam paskins this l'halacha, and it goes meiser. Halokeach peiros mi she'eino ne'eman ala meisros v'shochach la'asron v'dekol Shabbos. Someone who buys fruit from someone who's not ne'eman, and forgets to meiser them, come Shabbos, the Yom Tov, and he didn't meiser, Eino Yakul Asron, or is it Sholo? If he says that they are tithed already, Ochel al Pi B'Shabbos. And the technicality, you're even allowed to eat that if you have other food that was from someone who was a Neman. And the Rambam concludes, they say Eimat Shabbos al Ami Aretz, the Eino over Ba'Avera. Meaning the Shabbos, the neshama yisera we have on Shabbos, brings us to even a yirat chet, a certain fear of sin, where we have truth. We are not only, we're in a position to be making this OC b'nei u'b'nei Yisrael, but also we're in a different mode on Shabbos. Every Yid has a certain mode and neshama that brings him to a state of truth that he doesn't even have during the week. Even the Am Ha'aretz relate to this emes. And this brings us to the biggest difference between a Yid and a Molech and the Goyim, and why it would be that someone who's B'chal Shabbos is like a Goy. We see go down a little further. We go to the next page. Next page, we go to Parshas Zachor. Parshas Zachor, what do we see? What was Amalek all about? What is the Parshas Zachor we're going to be reading? Zachor the Sher Solach Amalek. But Derech b'teisim Mitzrayim asher korcha b'derech v'yizonet b'chakol nechasholim acharecha v'atah ayev v'yagev lo yorei Elokim. So first of all, Pashut Pshat lo yorei Elokim. They have no fear of God. They have no recognition that there's a Borei Olam. They have no recognition there's a creator. That Shekorcha B'derech, Rashi brings 3 pshatim by Shekorcha B'derech. Well known, number 1, lesson Mikra. It happened, expresses chance. No particular design, no particular motivation. Things happen. No particular strategy. Things happen. There's no hashgacha chas v'shalom, but this is what they'd say. Everything's in the mikra. Shekorcha b'derech. Second pshat lashon keri lashon tumah. Impurity. Impurity is also without kavana, relating to our gashmias, without any sort of intention for pru or vu. It's all tumah. The whole aspect of tumah is something that has no kiyum whatsoever, no eternal existence. And of course, the 3 is lashon kor, cold. Famous Chazal that they're the first drop of cold water that went into the hot bath. Why? Because they're the ones they cooled Klal Yisrael down. We should say Klal Yisrael was coming out of Mitzrayim. Everyone recognized how great Klal Yisrael was. Everyone was afraid of Klal Yisrael. Saw that Kosh Baruch was taking care of them. No, Amalek ignored, totally ignored, cut themselves off. The word malika, molak, is in the word Amalek, that they're like cutting off a head of a chicken, cutting off a head of a bird. They're not seeing Kadosh Baruch Hu in the world at all. Nothing, it's not there. And of course, lo yorei Elokim, go a little further down, Eitan, in the Rashis, say lo yorei Elokim, a little further down, it's underlined but not arrowed. Lo yorei, he did not fear Amalek Elokim, because he was meaning that Amalek was not afraid to come up against Klal Yisrael, and that's why there's a mitzvah of Timchet Zecher Amalek. We're removing, we are erasing all memory of Amalek. This is Amalek that represents absolute lack of Yirat Shamayim, absolute lack of seeing Kadosh Baruch Hu in the world, in the present world or any world. As Rashi says, Me'olav ad yonek, from a young baby to a young child, I feel al behema shelo yesh shem Amalek niskar, that we should know Shem Amalek niskar at all. So thereby, we Klal Yisrael who are being shomer Shabbos, staying away from Chilul Shabbos, our Shmir Shabbos is Oz Hi Beini Uven Bnei Yisrael. We are holding up the flag of this oath that Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world. Kadosh Baruch Hu is in control of the world. Kadosh Baruch Hu is directing the world, and thereby we recognize this on Shabbos. Klal Yisrael that failed, the people that went out to collect in the Midbar, they didn't listen to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu said, "There's no reason to go out in the Midbar and collect money. It's not going to be there. It's not going to find anything. You received 2 already. You received for Shabbos already." They went out to collect. They brought their bowls with them to collect whatever their kalim, whether they carried on Shabbos, whether they crossed the tchum on Shabbos, but they were mechal Shabbos. This brings a molek, because if we're chas v'sholem mechal Shabbos, we are not standing up for the chiddush of the world that Kadosh Baruch Hu put into the world. A chiddush, and like the Rambam says, a person's mechal Shabbos is kigoy, and thereby going come after us. Thereby Amalek, which represents that they are not Yorei Elokim, that they represent that there's no connection between Shamayim and Aretz, that represented or not seeing Kadosh Baruch Hu in the world, they come up after us. Our achrayus then, in our Shmir Shabbos, is to be connecting with the fact that the Kadosh Baruch Hu is mechadish the world, seeing Kadosh Baruch Hu in the world, and that allows us to avoid Amalek coming. One more thing, we go to page 5. One more thing regarding the emes we saw from the emes we saw, that a yid keeps on Shabbos. It's no accident that Amalek is full of sheker. You see the chart coming from Art Scroll. It's the Tanakh, that Amalek is the grandson of Esav. There's 3 wives. Eliphaz is his son, and there's an incredible medrash regarding Esav. Vayikru Shmo Esav, the pasuk says, and Parshas told us. Esav, the medrash says, you know what Esav represents? Esav, hey Shav, Esav, hey Shav. What does that mean? Shav is nothingness. Hey, look, note, Shav, Shebarati be'olami. Because Baruch Hu is as if saying, Yikru Shmo Esav, which, by the way, you look in Parshas told us, you'll see that it doesn't say that Yitzchak named Esav. No one did. If anybody remembers any previous shiur of Esav was called Esav because he had a lot of hair, and they basically he was red, had a lot of hair, I think I understood. The Aleinu Shabbat brings down from Chaim that brings a medrash that he was too red to have a bris milah, so he never had a bris milah. So, and then when he was old enough to have a bris milah, he didn't want one. So they always called him. He was full of se'ar. Esav, part of a word that relates to his se'ar. So really, it means hairy, Esav. But over here, the medrash is saying Esav. Hey, Shav, look at this note. Hey, behold, Shav, nothingness. Because Baruch Hu created in his world a reality, a metzius of nothingness, meaning something that's sheker, something that's absolute lie, something that doesn't really have any sort of kiyum, any sort of true fulfillment, because it's not seeing anything coming from anywhere. Everything is mikra. As Amalek, the grandson represented, comes from the grandfather Esav. Hey, Shav, nothingness, a nothing. It really is no kiyum. And this is brought out in Balak. We look at source 7, Eitan lifted up a little bit, that Bilam said, Vayared Amalek, Vayisa Mishalo Vayomar, Amalek, Bilam looked over towards Amalek and made a comment. Reishis Goyim Amalek, the first of the Goyim nations is Amalek, meaning the first of the nations to come up against Klal Yisrael is Amalek, Bachariso Adei Oved, and its end is destruction. Meaning, as Rashi points out, Hu Ayakodem Ekula, Vilachem Yisrael, Kentirgim Uklus Vachariso, Lavi Biyodam. Their end is going to be destroyed by Klal Yisrael, as the pasuk says, Timched Zachor Amalek, who wipe out the remembrance of Amalek. Just like if you learned first Mishnah in the third parak of Sukkah, the Mishnah says that a lulav that comes from an Ir Nidachas has no measure. You know why? Because it's supposed to be burnt. So since it's supposed to be burnt, it's considered without measure. So too Amalek. They're on their way to being destroyed. They're considered nothing. Nothingness. They're on their way to being destroyed. That's the reality. The reality of the whole absolute destruction. And thereby Amalek got it from his grandfather Esav. That's absolute shav. And thereby we go back to the Gemara, and this is the pshat and something to keep in mind for Parshas Zachor. If we go back to the original Gemara, eight times to the first page, we'll now understand and appreciate the Gemara more. Amar v'Yehuda Marav, Ilmale Shamar Yisrael Shabbos. If would have been that Klal Yisrael would have kept that first Shabbos in the Midbar, Lo Shalta ben Uma V'Loshen, we would have been protected from all control of all nations, languages, meaning all cultures. What's the connection between Chil Shabbos and the Yavo Amalek? By being Machal Shabbos, we're acting like Goyim. Why are we acting like Goyim? Why we consider to be like a Goy, as the Rambam said, is because we're not validating, recognizing, we're not being who we are in the word chuses. We're not being the nation that we are set out to be, to declare this oath between us and the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Rather, we're being like all other goyim and not recognizing Kadosh Baruch Hu Chiddush in the world, in Mechayish the world. And therefore that brings on Amalek, who represented that the most. Our Mechias Amalek, our destruction, wiping out Amalek. You know, Berkowitz always asked a few questions. If the mitzvah is to wipe out Amalek, the Torah didn't really set us up for this, that we have to remember them all the time. If we're remembering them all the time, we're never wiping them out. Okay? And even maybe remember I asked that question maybe. Okay? Old question, oldie but goodie. But the point is the same every year. It's not only about wiping them out. We have a mitzvah to be wiping them out year after year. We have to remember who they are. Remember what they did. Remember what they represent. And we have to be wiping out that reality. That reality that is lo yorei Elokim. That reality that is not recognizing the chiddush in the world. That reality that sees everything as random. And we have to be, as represented by our Shmir Shabbos, recognizing the great merit we have to be declaring, and this great merit we have to be the people of Kadosh Baruch Hu's nation we are the people of Osi B'nei Yisrael, that we carry the schus to be representing Hakadosh Baruch Hu's Chiddush in the world. And even by way of that, we have a reality of absolute emes. And thereby we carry this. And that's our countering of Amalek. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind as we come to Purim, as we're getting to Parshas Amalek. The Mechias Amalek always comes before the Mechias of Haman, who is also a further generations of Esav and of Amalek. The lie, the wanting to wipe out Mordechai, not wanting to recognize that there's a Borei Olam, and not wanting, just being so annoyed by who we are. That's our pride of who we are and what we represent and what we counter. So, Ben Hashem, we should be zocher to wipe out Amalek. We should be shoyme Shabbos. We should be zocher to be proud of the oath that we carry, that we represent Kodesh Baruch Hu's Chiddush in the world. We carry that. And that's a Kodesh Baruch Hu's pride of us as well. And with that, he certainly will keep away all the Amalek from us. Okay, it's been a pleasure to see everybody. Any questions, thoughts, or comments? Okay, wow. David, how are you? Nice to see you.
Baruch Hashem. Rabbi, did you make this whole, this is like a very classic Rabbi Greenwald printout. Yeah, did you do all the cutouts with like the
well no, I did
copies and the thing and you put it all on one page?
In the last 3 years I bought a computer. I have a computer now. And
wow, Rabbi, I feel like you never got enough credit. Because if I remember correctly, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly, for a long time, what you would do is you would take a sefer, you'd put it on the Derech scanner, you'd cut out a little excerpt, and then you'd paste that excerpt onto a page, and you'd do that page, little excerpts each time with all the Rabbi Greenwald underlines, and you never got enough credit for it. And I want you to know it's greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much.
That
still going on a little bit.
It means a lot.
It's still going on. White out. The Rambam got on that way. Some other things. Thank you very much, David. I appreciate it.
But also great cheer.
Okay, very good. Enjoy it. Nice to see you.
Yeah. You as well, Rabbi. Yashikar.
Okay, very good. What are you up to now? What are you doing now?
I'm still living, still breathing. I live in Brooklyn now.
What?
Yeah.
You're in Brooklyn?
I'm in Brooklyn, yeah.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah. I work in Brooklyn. I live in Brooklyn. I guess actually in a basement. This is my basement. It's really exciting.
Okay.
But
wonderful.
Yeah, you should come by me, Rabbi, sometime. If ever you're in America.
In June, we're going to be in June. B'ez Hashem. I understand I'll be in New York in June, so we'll see.
So if you need a free place to stay, please, Rabbi, stay by me.
Okay, fine.
I got a pretty nice crib.
Everyone, you heard here first. Save the date weekend. It's going to be like June 17th, June 18th. Juneteenth weekend now. And New York, it should be amazing. It's a 3-day weekend for us, that works in our favor. But seriously, save that weekend, and most some big things will be happening then in New York.
All right.
Rabbi Greenwald,
have many more.
How you doing, Rabbi?
Okay, who's it?
Josh Fox.
Yeshua Fox. Wow, how you doing?
Baruch Hashem, I'm doing great. Thank God.
Wow.
Show you. Speaking of your packets, I have my binder right here.
No way.
I still have some of those, Rabbi. I still have some of those from Megillah. I still have some.
Guys, give me knockers a lot of chizuk. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It should be well, Rabbi.
I see it. I see it. Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow, thank you very much. I had to make sure to repeat things. This was a new one.
Yeah.
I looked at my binder. I couldn't repeat things.
I think I still have a binder somewhere. If you hear it, you'll love it. About how if everyone is quiet, they increase the Torah because you can't have any kailas and create a Torah. That makes it that it's
right.
Right?
This last week's Parsha, how
Megillah. So I think I still have that somewhere.
Very good. Okay. Very nice.
Yashikar, you should do well.
Good.
Have a wonderful quarter.
Thank you for joining. Thank you. Everything should be well.
You as well.
Very good. Hatzlacha.
Take care. Oh, Mikey just came.
Good. Hatzlacha. Okay. Hatzlacha. Very good. No, how's everyone doing? Anybody else?
Good, Rabbi Baruch
I'm here. Okay, Yosef and Jacob.
We missed you there.
A long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Rabbi, we were talking about the Irani Daf fast. You have to burn everything in the city. I was just wondering, how is that possible? If there's a mezuzah there, then we can't do that.
Very good. I mean, it's a Gemara. You're very good. It's
a Gemara. It's a good. Oh,
it's a Gemara. It's an engine.
I know. I'm kidding. I learned with Rabbi. It was like
we learned that together.
When Yaakov and Yosef first met up again, and they wanted to see if he's still holding. So he says that what they were last learning, according to Rashi,
So
that's
now
how I'm doing
Yaakov
there.
and Yosef, yeah.
Yaakov
Very
and Yosef,
good.
they're doing it for everything.
Nice, Jacob.
Anyone got
How's
those?
Shor Yoshem going?
That was-
Bill, how's Shor Yoshem going?
Baruch Hashem.
How
Very
things-
well, Baruch Hashem. I love
Steiging?
it. Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
Rich.
Trying to be into, okay, guys look great. Okay,
Yeah,
let's be
man.
in
You guys
touch.
meet my brother yet?
What's that?
You guys meet my brother?
Who's your brother?
Gilad Van, red hair.
Wait
And
a
Nicole?
second. Are you? No way.
Yeah.
I saw the name Van all over, and I was like, wait, I thought that was you. And yeah.
Okay,
Oh wait, I gotta tell him.
Yeah, word.
okay. Very nice. Okay,
All right.
guys, very good.
How can we contact Rebbe if we want to?
Send me an email, we'll make a time, okay? Send me an email, we'll make a time to Zoom or something, okay?
Sure.
Let's go. Let's do something, okay? Send me an email, make a time. Thanks, really good to see you. We lost contact, great. Please, we'll make a time.
Who was that too? Who was the one that looks great? Nima Salmani for sure.
Jacob, you haven't lost it. Very good.
All right, Shkar Rebbe.
Take care, guys. Okay, send me